So ready, set, go, Leica Q3. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, and today I'd like to give you my 2 cents about the Leica Q3. But apart from discussing the specs that we did already many times, now we're finally almost there because it is rumored to be announced on May 26th, which is less than 1 week away. And so after months scouting the web for leaks, rumors and good discussions and hypotheses about the focal length it's gonna have, whether it's gonna have OIS or IBIS or whatever, finally we're there. Now, if you allow me to use a metaphor, I would like to have a helicopter view about what this release will mean for the photography sector in general, because if we discuss the specs, guys, we're only seeing the trees, but we're not seeing the forest. And so, if you allow me to use a metaphor coming from music, it is only by focusing on the pause in between tones that you can hear and give a sense to the melody. And so I would rather not focus on how many frames per second, or if the phase detect AF tracking is gonna be good or bad, or how many megapixels, despite we're almost certain about it having the 60 megapixel sensor coming from the M11, so thank you for that. But I would rather not discuss the details, because otherwise we start having subjective opinions about it being good or bad, such as 60 megapixel, are they too many, are they not enough, and what does it mean? It means that you can crop eventually in digital, but then if you do it, since it's a digital zooming, it's like flattening the image you're having, like where you're using the zoom to the full extension and you're flattening your main subject against the background. So similarly to that, but maybe then it's not worth considering it because you're shooting street, and so you're using f8 to f11. Anyway, see, there are too many variables if we start to digging into details, and then my humble opinion might differ from yours. And so what it is about to say about this camera, it's that it comes from decades and with the Leica heritage on its shoulder, and it will be more or less the same shooting experience you're having with other Leicas, because apart from not being a rangefinder but a mirrorless camera, you still have your 3 exposure triangle commands at hand without entering the menu: the f aperture on the lens, and then the shutter speed and the ISO with the upper dials. And so this is going to be a very good EDC. This is going to be the best EDC released in 2023. This is going to be the object of desire. You will all love it. And then apart from it being compact and lightweight, and apart from it having this beautiful and sharp semi-lux lens, what are the pluses of shooting with this Leica? If you're following the channel for a while, you know that I was saving money in order to get myself a Leica M10 monochrome, which is, in my humble opinion, the best Leica M digital ever produced. And now they released the M11, which is raising the bar because it's basically having a BSI sensor, and so it's comparable in terms of low light situations almost to a monochrome camera, which is why we would love to have monochrome, and I'm discussing it thoroughly in the next video, so stay tuned for that. But it is a real game changer, and so that sensor in the Leica Q3 with phase detect, it is a real game changer. Guys, you will love it. And now photography, it comes a long way, because we used to have the negatives for our pictures that were filling the space in between foreground and the background, and so giving us a chance to understand all the space in between, while with digital photography, it's not camera's fault, it's just that we are not anymore used to that. We only consider the foreground. We want to have our subject in straight focus, as sharp as possible, and to keep track of it in 120 frames per second, so we are not missing any moment, any facial expression, nothing that is happening gets missed. But the trade-off is that we are not used to it anymore, filling the spaces. We are transposing a 3D reality into a 2D image, and so we're using the rules of composition to give it a sense. But with the digital camera, we're basically now just recording documentaries, hours and too many frames, too many gigs of data that we will have eventually to have a look at when we're going back home and find out what was meant to be. What was the most important scene happening in front of our eyes? While with regular photography, with the Q3, you will be still able to look at the world and to record the moments that really matter, not just having to shoot hours of gigs and too many frames per second and then having to pick up in post what was meant to be the best moment out of it, but you will still be looking at the world in order to record the scene as you want to tell your story. So this is my best and humble suggestion, guys. Go for the Leica Q3 rather than any other technology advancements, because the folks in Wetzelar have been so smart that they gave us some technology to help us, such as the face detect, but not too much for us to hand over too many choices that otherwise will have to stay with the photographer. So with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the new videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.